lovelies, it's Lee. Thank you for stopping by and sharing some time with me today. I hope you enjoyed the pieces in this video, and I hope you enjoyed the pieces that have come out this month overall. Thank you all for your continued support. It means a lot to me, and let's get right into the video. Tugging Shadows. Leave them be, but they won't leave me. Calling in my peripheral vision, the shades of past selves warning me back in the life I once knew. Came up from my traumas into the light of a life most deserved. Not special, yet not terrible either. It was mine and no one else's. Happiness a newfound concept, nothing like the ones I used to know. Didn't think it was deserved, but over time it was earned. How dare these shadows from my past come back to haunt me? Many of them placed upon me through the actions of others, those around at that time unable to escape. In teams, they rear ugly heads, holding faces of disdain and entitled judgment upon one who got free from them all. No bad feelings come from this, one upon them in return, even though there would be every right to have them. Fly from here, shades. The light now being held by this one is too much for you to even get close to without all the burns you bestowed, sending you up in flames. My way is now bright. My fire will never be extinguished by you or anyone else ever again. Ultralight beams. Out for a night ride on the winding pitch-black twists and turns that come from a road named Gray. Only light is that coming forth from the moon and my super high beams. Like the night, sun all is illuminated, glowing eyes watch my disturbance passing by. Lit up are the looming, hanging branches of the trees that line either side of this road. Like hands reaching out to get me, I'm too fast for their grasp. The light shining lets me see everything before everything can see me. Night has become day as the beams touch the horizon along the straightway. Finally come to a point where there are other lights blinking. Stop, slow, and go. They pale in comparison as they try to shield themselves from my ultra-bright light. Passing through the night, darkness itself runs from my sight. Nothing can withstand the light that comes from my radiant sight. Zombie mob. They're coming at me from every side. I can't defend myself. The night is too dark. Everywhere I try to go, there is only danger. The peaks give me no high ground. The sea in its depths give me no refuge. It's like they come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. The sound they make weigh heavy on my mind. They're searching for me while I hide in plain sight. Some fight each other. This is my chance to flee. My only goal is to make it to sunrise. Maybe then they will disperse, running from the light as their home is the darkness. Even then, I get no chance to restore myself or anything that I've lost. They just keep coming for me. All I can do is hide for my life. Midday thinking. Amidst the hustle and bustles of any given day, take a seat, there is time to breathe. If only a moment to clear your mind and think, or to take what's there and sort it out. Plop down where your bottom can find a space, your feet grateful for the rest. Body and mind take the chance to readjust. Focus on each breath that leaves you. Each a moment in time, each a chance to think on what has been done as well as what's still left to do. You've made it this far and you'll make it the rest of the way too. Look around. See so many others running just the same. Then look up as you watch nature. The creatures are doing the same. The world always in motion, whether you are part or not. Always in some form of change. No cycle is still. Think on the greater picture and know that you are a small piece, but more important than you may think. Your motion also serves a purpose, even if you don't realize it yet. Back on your feet, the day is not done yet. Wheels keep turning as your now refreshed mind took time to breathe. Each step closer to the end of the day's story. The world wasn't lost just because you took time to breathe. One block world. There one stands as the sun sets and the moon rises in its cycle over and over again. Each day there is more to collect as well as even more to create. It all came to pass as only one block of varying type was cycled through, much like the setting sun and rising moon. Collections had to be stored away for creation if more things to be imagined. With each block placed, a world began to fill into shape. Over time, more and more beauty could be realized, from plants to humans and more. With each setting sun and rising moon, the one who creates such a world in such a way is able to dream of more ways to expand such a place. In time, the bridge of any gaps of possibilities can be imagined will be filled in with hope and glorious awe. A world will come to form from one place, one block continuing to be placed one piece at a time. Raspy voice. You hear it stir as the wind blows, waking up at the crack of dawn. Shuffling is now the motion of the ground as you stand upon it. Deep was its sleep, as rumbling could be heard throughout the night before. A toss here, a turn there, yet all is able for the most part to remain peaceful. In the new light of morning, there are sounds of coughing and choking. The wheezing while trying to breathe is a cause for concern. The wind blows through the trees softly, yet hacking is now followed by deep blows of moisture trying to escape. The fog-like mist upon the land is a symptom of impending issues to come. Once the morning passes and the dawn clears, the air, the ability to breathe, peacefully comes once again. As if choked up by its own devices of pollen, dust, and mold, spring has this as its wake-up ritual, as just before the first birds sing, raspy is its voice. Dying plants. As if cursed by a kiss of planting death, always they start out healthy and green, only to turn to withered brown husks of their former selves. I place them near the sunlight, water them, and give them food for their roots, leaving them to do their thing. Maybe it's something in the air, or maybe they just don't like me. My mother once tried to teach me how to garden, with her having what's known as the green thumb. Everything she smiled at blossomed and grew, with a passion under her watchful eye. Maybe it skips a generation, like some talents do. Maybe I'm actually good with animals or children. That has to be it. I just don't know why every plant I come across passes on. Is it my breath as it hits their leaves? My overall body odor or demeanor when I'm around? Is it the sound of my voice? Of just my being alive that turns green things brown? I just don't know anymore. I guess the desert would be the best place for me to try out my magical nature-bound gifts. A dry, barren wasteland, at some point, must have given my thumbs their own blistered wish. Did you get my message? Sent through the ether, trying to make a connection in hopes of getting a desired response. Did you get my message? Is what's heard as one walks down the hall to their room as they greet another after a long day apart. No, is the response that reverberates off the walls, while more of an explanation comes along for the ride. I haven't checked my phone in a while, which makes one curious, wanting to know if they indeed received the note sent by the other through the ether. I spot the name of the loved one as saved within the small computer now being held in hand. Open the note and read with a slight giggle and smile. "Now I got it" is heard from one's mouth to the other's ear, leading to a vocal proclamation of "You did get it, you just didn't know it. So why did you say you didn't get the message?" Now a drop in morale of a smile to a defensive reaction as one says, "I said no because I didn't hear any notification sound." So to say that I didn't get the note until now is a valid response to your inquiry. This in turn leads to the other in this interaction feeling slightly annoyed as they had to receive your words of "look out for my meal or else." In time, things settle and the two interact no more. The meal comes and the one who sent the note didn't even hear it when it was at the door. Thus the other calls out only to no avail, retrieves the note dropper's said meal with no other messages that fail. Fool's gold. Always searching for what's thought to be better on the other side, never looking upon what's already there with any fond thoughts. There is always a bigger, better prize to be claimed. There is always something higher than first place winner. Keep going, but it's never found that one thing more prized than all others in the mind that never sees that they have more than enough. It's more than greed. In a way, it's a constant lack of satisfaction, not only with the world, but more so with themselves. To seek all one can gain from outside is a never-ending, unfulfilling battle. There will never be enough, nor anything that will make this one content. They will keep mining, digging, shifting through ruins to find the gold, never realizing that they've already found it and simply need to claim it. Sunset memories. Standing there, feet gently being pounded by the waves of dusk, both above and below. Watch as the pastel world slowly vanishes from sight, as eyes close in quiet contemplating. The mind soon begins to track back to similar moments in personal history achieved like a library, remembering a smaller version standing in the shallows after a day spent in love and joy. Those moments were so few back then, smiles upon faces of loved ones, both made up of family and friends. Wonder why more times couldn't be this way. Life was set up for good things to happen, yet the bad just had to grab hold. Life with only memories of quiet sunsets in the mind. Waves once warm from brilliant light grew frosted and cold. To be many beings. Take one down and you take on that form. The ability to shift through identities is a skill, not taken lightly. Go to another location and one can now survive where they couldn't before. Snatch away that which is held most dear. Place their face upon your own. Be stronger, tougher, smaller, faster than your opponent. Gather all that you need as well as taking what you want. All can become your domain with every new reinvention. Be like those of the land, of the air, and of the sea. Too long the night. Seems as if the sun had been down forever. Can't sleep. This place won't let me. They just keep coming. Those things that travel in the night. Everywhere I try to hide, they always find me. Keep looking to the sky. Where is the sun? Why has it left this world behind for so long? The darkness itself seems to smile down upon every misfortune. As the stars twinkle, once in beauty, now only in disdain. I can't find any refuge. Not even the light of my torch can keep me safe. Ever awake, doomed to live out this existence. darkness lurking in every single place. Light blind. I could never say it on the phone, walking by to let you know I'll never let you go. No one around to judge me, can't see clearly. City's cold and empty. I can't see the sunlight up the sky. I hit the road in overtime. I'm running out of time. I look around. You don't have to do much. You can turn me on with just a touch. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Linka's Wind. Calling out, a voice can be heard along the currents of the winds that blow on by. Soon the sky turns dark, not from clouds, but from all that is being picked up and tossed around. There is no place to keep one's footing, airborne, or even those things never meant to fly. The winds of the world have gone unchecked and become storms of every kind. The voice still calling out to the winds now under its control. The very fabric of the world is being blown out of its mold. Once a gentle breeze against your cheek, now cuts like a razor blade, separating you from all that you once were. Never again will it calm. There is no place to hide. The world blown off its very axis is moving into the sun, blowing monstrous kisses as the flares threaten to touch its back with a solar windstorm in mind. Mati's Heart. Heard in the mind, and all begin to wonder. Calling out, a voice from the unknown calls to the heart of every being that not only lives now, but has lived before and will live in the future. As this is happening, minds are turning, thinking on what could be, has been, and will be. Legacy left upon the world not only by the individual, but by mankind as a whole. Will generations past marvel at progression as well as having their heads in sorrow? Will current generations build upon what knowledge has been gained while losing what morality was left? Will future generations look back upon the past in awe or shame, being gifted a world that they can either make better or have to salvage just to make their way? The voice continues to call to the heart of every being. Even the universe itself has to stop and ponder its true direction as well as its true meaning. Cursed ground. Every step that I take turns against me. Every move I make calls danger down upon me. I can't eat, I can't sleep, knowing that the world is out to get me. What's the point navigating this realm only to have it all blow up in my face? Steps upon the land float me away. Waves in the sea are repelled by my existence. The animals are afraid of my movements. The rain is the only thing I can run through half-heartedly. Every time I set my path upon this land, it's like I'm cursed to have no good fortune. What is it all for? What is the meaning of all of this, I wonder? Give me my wings. It's time for me to soar high above the clouds. I need no plane nor no parachute to keep me airborne. Long overdue has been my time. Too many instances of me rolling over, trying to keep things on the straight and narrow line. My voice ignored, my words treated as sabotage. Finally, someone heard me and took notice of what I had to say being worth their time. Yet I still had to come to the idea that no one has to hear me as long as I hear myself. Yes, give me my wings. Tell me what I am to do with more than the lies they tell to keep up appearances. Why is it the case that those on high seem to never know how they got there? Let me change my ways and explore my potential, still fully unknown. Yes, give me my wings. Don't make me feel smaller than I've already made myself feel. I'm a dove who has finally found her true home. Gaia's spirit. She sleeps, waiting to awake to a world once again in balance. Each time over her existence that she has been awake, all she's witnessed has been destruction of some sort of her home. Her acts of restoration have worked for a time, yet no matter her efforts, things always seem to be thrown further and further out of alignment. The natural equilibrium that was supposed to be had by all that has been lost throughout time and space. So again, she does what she must, what she can to restore what is growing harder and harder to replace. Once again, in her dormant state, she tries to dream of her world being peaceful, safe, and in balance by the next time she awakes. Some early morning. Wake to sounds very familiar to you. Roll from the bed to investigate. See those you love have arisen, starting their day. You wonder if you could do the same. Take the steps needed to begin. Check the time, refresh your mind, do a chore or two. Others rising early are most likely doing the same all around you. Sit back in bed for a moment, taking the sounds of the world. Off in the distance you can hear that nature is mixing with man, creating something more. The sun now up warms your existence in contrast to the clouds of yesterday's start. This day is new, its own creation, its own story, there for you to be a part. Wake to what's going on around you. Make a decision on whether or not to participate or let the day pass you by. Simply remember that no matter what you choose to do, tomorrow is another day waiting, while yesterday has passed. So look to the sun again streaming through your window panes. Hear the birds as they sing. Know that for some reason this early morning is calling to you. Best to listen to what it has to say. Slip. Sign of falling off the path. Were you ever meant to be on such a journey? What will it all amount to? Nothing, I hope not. Laying on your back, looking up for a time, what did you see? Can you see the mistakes you made? Can you see any lessons you thought you had down packed already, but the universe said nope, you really don't? Can you see yourself getting up and trying again, or does the ground just feel too good at the moment? Impression. Have you thought about how and or why you slipped in the first place? What missteps or pitfalls did you under or over calculate that may have led to such an outcome? Have you even thought on this in any capacity? Or do you simply stand up and let the lessons pass, doomed to replay the same events again? Patience. Have you acquired them? With each slip, do you gain understanding and the ability to cross off one way that doesn't work for another that might? Do you appreciate each slip? For when you stand again, you gain stamina and endurance. Fear not for the thought of slipping, for if you don't, you never learn. The realm beyond. Build the portal it took a little time from the remnants I found while roaming. Once it was complete, I was ready to see what eyes could not, unlike my own, have possibly seen before. I collected all that I thought I would need, as well as all I thought that I might not, took a deep breath and stepped into another world. What I saw was a land of beauty mixed with a land of living dead. Such a paradox of what could exist in one place that I felt compelled to search it out. Lakes of fire mixed with fields of green, creatures of ghostly-like ability as well as those who seem much like me. Very carefully I navigated the nooks and crannies of the world far beyond that of my own. It was like this world was the under, while mine was the over. I made my way back to my portal after some time, as I needed to take my leave and rest my head. I know I will go back, it's just a matter of where and when. Floodgates. Once open, they couldn't be closed. Told everything through tears and at times rage about a situation I was not even party to. I didn't even know this person, yet they sat down and began telling me their life story. I'm sorry, but I have no point of reference for anything you are saying. Lived a very quiet and sheltered life, growing up on my own, not really wanting to be of this world, even though I live within. What tears, anger, and sorrow can produce for many has not yet come my way. I guess this is what happens when we care for others who can let us down. Sounds like they placed another on a pedestal, forgetting that this person was human. Toxic words spill forth from this now very broken dam burst. No longer only water, but lava has also begun to flow from the gates. Oh good, my stop has arrived. Through swift motion I exit, while they continue unaware of now they are spilling forth to no one in particular. I guess this will just add to the torment that was coming forth anyway. Sorry for your troubles, but it's not my place to mend fences that I didn't even break. It's all about that time. It's all about that time to be on the move, not always sure how to move or where to move to, but it needs to happen. It's about that time to be on the lookout. Don't always know what to look out for or even why, but this needs to happen. It's about that time to make a change. Don't know what to change into or for. Also, most of us don't like change, but still this needs to happen. It's about that time to grow. Don't really know what to grow into or out of, but this needs to happen. It's about that time to face things head on. Don't really know what I'll be facing or if I can face it, yet this needs to happen. It's about that time to take a stand. Don't know what I'll be standing for or even if I can stand alone, but this needs to happen. It's about that time to look at myself for who I really am. Don't know what I'll see or if I will like myself or not once I'm done, but this needs to happen. It's about that time to be about the time. Don't really know how this will go or even if it can be a thing yet. This has to happen. Late night musing. It's amazing the thoughts that can build in your mind during the day. Each one its own possibility to take hold to be carried into a next day. In the dark, not all things are searching for evil intents. Many are the thoughts that while in the light couldn't be fully. Better to be noticed in the quiet of the world's slumber. No distractions, no reasons you can give to push the thoughts away. Allowed to run free, to be completed, to take shape where once there. Best thinking can take place in the night. Building blocks from current and even past events can be brought to the forefront, building upon experience as a foundation. Each set block is a thought that had time to be collected, corrected, and placed where it's supposed to be. Every mental idea is a work in progress, yet in the night, the progression can fully take shape. Harsh light of reality has given way to soft light of possibilities. Waking, running, dancing through your mind. In the night, the veil of darkness can free you from your daytime blindness. Think on things as your mind begins to drift off to sleep. The thoughts can lead to dreams of grand proportions. It's amazing what can come from your mind in the night. Wheeler's fire. A voice calls out fire, and all things warm or generated by heat begin to burn out of control. Even the sun's brightness to a dangerous glow upon the sky. Blinding is not the word to describe the light, nor is the word hot any longer enough to display the intensity of how one is being baked alive where they stand. No longer can anyone complain about it being too cold, when it would appear that there was truth in hell being hotter than any known place in existence. Even the pull from the hottest stars began to melt the universe away. Your eyes no longer withstand or even exist within their place upon any face that once had the knowledge to comprehend sight. That voice still calling out fire, there is nothing left to burn. Not even 1,000 could turn back time, granting powers that would set this right. Dream sickle. I came across it along the journey in one of my most dominant dreams. I am always an explorer, trekking through the unknown of my unconscious mind. Before I fell asleep that night, I asked myself a new question, like I do each evening before bed. I asked myself, what did I think my dreams came from? Once my head hit the pillow, I was there again, in the jungle of my mind. So many paths I had already searched, but were now blocked, while still so many new ones were open to me. I was being pulled into an abyss-like constellation area. I could see the stars swirling into a void. Once I fell into this mass head first, I might add, I found myself in a quiet, still place. In the middle of shimmering darkness, it stood before me. It was like something I'd ever seen across in my dreams before. It was a pillar of some kind, and in it was all that was me swirling around. All my joys, sorrows, anger, and hope, shooting out in mist, like state carried into the void I just fell into. Before I could reach out and touch it, I was again away in the dawn of my room. As I write this out, trying to understand, if I can, what that image may have meant. All I can think is that my dreams answered my question, as best as it could. My dreams must be an extension of me. I call what I saw a dreamsicle, due to its ice-like appearance. I hope to return again one night. I'd love to know what it feels like beneath my fingers. Drowned boat. Here I sit waiting for my fate, no matter what it is. I try to just live in this hostile world, but guess that's not much to ask for. Always I feel surrounded by things out to get me. It's like they have a radar. She's set up and doing well. Let's go wreck her, guys. Thus here I sit with my head above water, waiting for what I see outside to get me again. Always they come with their flames and arrows, as if I'm some monster of old needing to be vanquished. I have tried to fight against them many times over. It's just that I'm never fully prepared enough, I guess. They seem to stumble upon me either in the day or night. I do my best to run, yet they always seem to catch up with me. Like a past you constantly can't outrun. So here I sit underwater with my head barely above. I can see them as they ravage the land and enjoy themselves to my stuff. You know what's done. No more hiding, as they will still be there, whether under the moon or the sun. You want me? Come and get me, you pains in my big juicy bum. Known it never. Never you mind about my words. Better late than never they come. You never know where they land. they will never pass on. I never knew when, never again, never mind, never by. Planet's protector. Born out of necessity, crossing boundaries of the elements in their own forms. One who lives as the embodiment of creation seeks to save as much as he can. Called on by so many voices who see the devastation ongoing, knowing there is a very limited time and opportunities to rescue its home. Come to life, seek to save the natural order, even when so many stands in the way. The sun is its reviving force, the wind is breath, the water is spirit, fire is its passion, the earth is home, and protector. Thus in turn, its job is to protect the earth. Yet another voice that calls for hope and change, in healing of the natural world before it's too late. Stand by its side in love of all the shades of nature, as it is bound to all the reds, blues, and greens. Something in the bones. She's on to him, he's on to her. They both played the game in different ways for a long time. He thought he should have it all. He thought he did so much. Soon he was retired with little to no muse or fuss. She watched him carefully. She knew him better than he knew himself. A spike in the drink would keep tabs on his every move. She wasn't where she was for no reason. Each side played their hand. Sometimes there was a win, a lose, or a draw. In the end, he had to be told who made who. Him being in control was never the plan. He grew too big too fast, not remembering his roots. She was doing the job. He was merely the hired recruit. Geese water. The tides pull from the shore as there is a call for them to do so. A voice calls the waters back from the land, back to where the falls flow from, back to where the springs pop forth. Then in an instant the waters are let go to fall back into their place, creating falls of water so high that the sun is lost and the stars can be seen in the day's night. Tears pour down and swells from the clouds as if they are being picked up and wrung out to dry. Yet this process is somehow not working, only creating more water. Calling out, a voice says, "Water," as the planet is now drowned, as we all are Atlantis from myth and legend. Creatures of the sea are once again in a place of rule, and those that need air are long since gone. Even ice from the depths of space has come to the voice's call. I was learning. 7 moves is all he had. Each time we met in battle, it was like a map being traced. Up, down, side to side, step left, step right. Is there any more? I don't think he's as great of a fighter as he was letting on. Silent in his movements, more powerful, mine had to become. A man of few words goes up against a woman full of loud fury. Fight 1. In the cafe, caught off guard, he was then merely a new opponent. Fight 2. In the warehouse, there was more action, more room for him to run, yet the chase was continued. Fight 3. Time to dance to the last music he'll ever hear. Revenge-filled fist of every point of him that could be hit. What music to satisfying ears. Kwame's Earth. As he calls upon his power, the very ground begins to shake. The Punishers break their bonds as the volcanoes erupt over and over, creating new ground by recycling the old. Animals flee from their very locations, trying to seek safety and shelter that has been lost. The planet itself begins to bend and break, free from its heavenly constraints. The orbit is no longer circling around the sun. Free to move throughout space, a voice keeps calling out, Earth, and it obeys. Further from the warmth of the sun, and losing power from its once warm core, the planet glides into the void, all this time unaware of how and why. Who was this voice had held so much power that the very planet bent to its will? Still calling, the earth is still drifting, never knowing its origins was from within. Thank you for listening. I hope my words as we go along both inspire and make you smile. For more of my content, you can also find me on Patreon, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. The links will be down below. Stay blessed and let's grow together. Much love to you all.